This is Isla Allgood, and I'm happy to come to you today as part of the Becoming You program and series of videos that I'm doing. Becoming You is about you getting in touch and becoming more in harmony with your authentic self, and to even know what that is. And today I want to talk to you about the concept of being sick. Are you sick of being sick? Now, even that language is sick, right? Yeah. So there's all these little cells in our body that make us up. And maybe I want to do a little analogy first. Yes. Our body, and maybe you've heard this before, is a vehicle for our soul. And this is Bo, and Bo's little soul came into her sweet kitty cat body. My soul came into this body at a particular date and time to a particular family, and with it comes certain challenges because we each are in a different vehicle, just like our car, and we need to take care of it, right? We want to take care of, if we buy a car and just run it and never just put some gas in it but never change the oil, or if it's electric, never make sure everything's running smoothly, over time it's going to wear out. And maybe it's going to wear out quicker than if we had really taken care of it. Think of a bicycle. Maybe you don't have a car, maybe you have a bike, or maybe you have a boat. You know, if you have a bicycle, you need to oil the chain and check the pedals and make sure the wheels are okay. You take care of that so that it lasts you a longer time. And what I want to talk to you today is about taking care of your body so it can take you not just longer, but you know, it's not about how long we live on this earth. It's really, to me, quality of life. I want the best quality of life I can have. Is that chocolate cake going to give it to me? Maybe. But maybe I know that I get really addicted to sugar, and I got to be real careful that if I eat that chocolate cake, that tomorrow I'm not thinking about having some M&Ms or some cookies or some ice cream and go down, for me, I go down that spiral. So it's important to know what works for you in your body and to be conscious of it. And as you get to know who your authentic self is, you will have time and space to do and experience other things other than maybe the habitual things you've been doing, such as eating every night, having ice cream every night, and then getting fat and then having to go on a diet because you're too heavy and you want to trim up. Or maybe you have an addiction with smoking. One of the things I've noticed with smokers throughout my life, and I used to smoke, so I know there's no angel of perfection over here, but I've consciously got away from that a long time ago. One of the things I notice with smokers is that, especially in our current conscious environment, people who don't smoke don't want to be near smoke, right? So what happens? The smoker needs to go outside or go down the street and stand there by themselves and smoke. And maybe what their body wants is to be alone. That maybe it's not about the smoking, but maybe it's about being alone, that they need to nurture something inside of themselves. I share these different ideas and thoughts to get you thinking about your own choices and your own life and what you do. Now, I chose sick of being sick because it's kind of ironic to even use that language. I find language so important in creating the reality I want. So if I say words like, I am so sick and tired of blank, fill it in. A person, the weather, the job, the house, the kids, the cat, whatever. I am sick and tired of that. We keep telling our body, I'm sick and tired of fill in the blank, again and again and again. And our body hears sick and tired, sick and tired. I have another video where I talk about languaging. At this point in time, I wanted to share more with you about languaging and other things relating to being sick, to getting sick. The body it does catch a cold or the flu or maybe a disease. There are many things that our bodies can have happened. And by getting in touch with your authentic self, you get to become more conscious about those things and more conscious about the kind of life you want to have day to day. So sometimes in becoming someone becoming their authentic self means that they quit their job and they sell all their stuff and they drive cross country or fly around the world or something hugely drastic like that. And that's awesome and exciting and yes, whatever it is that your authentic self wants to experience. I want to help you do that. I want to support you in that and coach you in that. And how about becoming your authentic self is knowing what your body, your mind, and your spirit want from one moment to the next. And maybe it's super simple and super subtle. Like, I want ice cream right now. Maybe that's up for you sometimes. I want to have ice cream. Well, instead of just going and getting the ice cream, as you become more conscious and connected to yourself, you'll think, well, do I want ice cream, or is that trying to fulfill something in me? And I don't know right now, so I'm going to go eat the ice cream, or you know what, I'm going to take 15 minutes and go sit quietly with my eyes closed, meditating. And meditating might mean focusing on my breath for 5 minutes, 15 minutes, and getting in touch with what's going on in here, in my heart, in my solar plexus. Because that's where intuition is. That's your gut feeling, right? And it knows whether the ice cream is going to serve you and be good for your body or not. And if you decide to eat it anyway, that's your decision. But it's done out of consciousness and awareness of yourself and your body, your emotions. And I pick ice cream because everybody loves ice cream, right? My body doesn't particularly like dairy, particularly ice cream. My body really doesn't do well with sugar. And, you know, at my age, you think I would have got this a long time ago, but I still struggle with it because it's everywhere and it's in everything. So I need to consistently be conscious about, do I want that? Does my body want that? Or is it just because I have some time and I want to go grab something yummy? And I feel the more conscious I can be, the better choices I can make. And that's what I want for you. And if you're someone who struggles with food addiction, smoking addiction, alcohol addiction, any kind, what I've come to realize is that we're all addicted to something in some way. Maybe it's video game addiction. I'm not saying that we never should do those things because I'm not a professional when it comes to addiction. I'm saying that as you get to know who you are at your core and get a sense of why you're here or what you have to bring to the world, those addictive behaviors are simply a distraction from who you truly are And you are magnificent. You are the light. You know, we all come into this world in this little tiny body. I just saw this video today of this little piglet. It was like this big, and it was just so adorable. And I do find all new little creatures that come into the world adorable, and maybe you do too. Well, little babies, we came in that way. That's how we came in. And then, you know, environment and things that happen in our lives and choices we made, choices that were made for us, they impact us in different ways. But here you are now thinking about, well, who am I? What is my authentic self? And you know what? Congratulations to you. From this little tiny baby, this little kitten, came this grown-up kitty cat and this little being of light. We're all beings of light. You are. You are here for many reasons. And maybe we never know exactly why we're here or what we're here. But if you focus on being true to yourself, being your authentic self, and getting in touch with that, meditating, qigong, yoga, taking walks, doing things for your physical body to make sure you're healthy, doing things for your spiritual body to make sure you're balanced and centered and grounded and connected to the universal life force. By doing those things, you are able to be true to who you really are, who you're really meant to be, instead of maybe masking that. Maybe you're afraid of just how powerful you can be. Well, fear is false evidence appearing real. There's nothing to fear about being your true self. You may find that you can't relate to people in the same way as you really get in touch with yourself. That's okay. As old relationships maybe fall away, new ones will take their place, and you want to surround yourself with people who are supporting you and championing you. I feel everyone is a champion in their own way, and I want to support people who are willing to be uncomfortable sometimes, willing to step out of what is normal for them to get to really know who they are. Think about it, who you really are. And by taking care of your body, that physical vehicle that your soul inhabits, you will have more opportunities to live a more meaningful, richer, happier. Doesn't everybody want to be happy? Happier life. Now, to me, being joyful, my aspiration is to experience joy all the time. Yes, all the time. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not sad or angry and happy or annoyed, but underneath that is always joy. I'm not there yet. I started aspiring to that over 20 years ago. And at times I felt like I experienced it, because one of the things I notice is I enjoy my emotions. I'm happy to have emotions. There was a time in my life I could not access them easily. So now, if I'm watching a program or a movie, or someone's talking, or I see a silly video online that makes me cry, I'm like, that is joyful to me, because that tells me I'm alive and I'm feeling, and I want to feel. I want to be able to feel. I just know that for me, I also need to learn how to set boundaries so I don't feel so much that it's overwhelming. And part of becoming you, for me, is managing that, managing those emotions, managing that experience. I was maybe 27 I was 27 when I had a double ear infection and, oh, horrible flu-like symptoms. It was in the winter, soon after my mom had died, and I was just, felt miserable. And I went to the doctor and he gave me a prescription for antibiotics, and the antibiotics gave me a horrible yeast infection. And a week later, after taking these horrible antibiotics, I was still sick. And that was it for me. That was it. This is Rain over here. He wants in on the show too. That was it. I was not going to be sick anymore. I'm like, no, I'm not going to the doctor because the doctor did nothing for me. It's time for me to figure out what's going on in my body and how can I get healthy. And I began a process of learning about alternative, integrative, natural healing methods, homeopathy, herbs, and more recently essential oils, and positive attitude and positive words and positive speaking to myself and affirmations, and Louise Hay's book that talks about how to kind of understand why a certain ailment is affecting your body, because maybe there's some thought patterns that need to be shifted. So taking responsibility for my own health and well-being. Have I gotten sick over the years? Occasionally. I used to get sick every single winter, at least once. The ear infections, the bronchitis, and I don't get any of that anymore. I get a cold, maybe. I could get food poisoning if I eat the wrong stuff, but I just don't get as sick as I used to, and I'm not willing to get as sick as I used to. I don't need that anymore in my life. Now, I just came through a pretty serious cancer diagnosis. I took responsibility for it. I don't know if it was what I did and what I said or what I ate or what. You can make yourself crazy with that. So there's a point where taking responsibility is just saying, you know what? Maybe I had something to do with this. I'm going to do everything I can to get better because I want to be healthy, because I want to live my authentic life. And I can't do that so easily if I'm up against disease or illness on a regular basis. It's hard. That's hard. That's not my path. That's what I know about me. Now, if you're struggling with some chronic conditions, start looking at, well, what could be at the root of them? Could it be some stuff that happened when you were a kid? Could it be some stuff that's going on in your life? I decided I want to take responsibility and I want to own my health and wellness. And also recognize that I came into a particular body that may have certain challenges that I can't control just by wishing to be well. I don't believe in that. I believe we have to be responsible about being well. And one of those ways is by our language. I encourage you to think about all these things. And more importantly, feel up here in your heart, but also down in your solar plexus. What is your truth? What is true for you around your health, your body, moving your body, physical movement, exercise? I have an old friend who prides herself on being lazy. Well, I don't know if that's serving her because she's not living the healthiest life. So look at that for yourself. And I don't want to judge anybody else. I don't want to tell you should go jogging every day or go to the gym every day. No, I want to encourage you to look at what's not working about your health and wellness, and one step today could you do towards being well, towards being whole, so that you can get more in touch with your authentic self and live the most joyful life available to you at this point in time. Thank you for listening today. This is Isla Allgood, Becoming You. If you want to know more about my program and how to reach me, go to my website, www, of course, www.ilaalgood, EILAALGOOD.com. And I want to give a special thanks to my two kitty cats here. This is Rain, and the other one is Bo. You get it? Rainbow. Yes, for being my special guests today. Oh, there she is. Have a beautiful day.